Greetings, everyone. Core here, and time for another midnight review. And tonight I went to go see The Shape of Water, which I was planning to see it about 2 weeks ago, because it was in the ArcLight here in Hollywood, and I just unfortunately didn't have time. And the one time I could have went to go see it, just other stuff just got in the way, and unfortunately I didn't get to see it early. But I did get to see it well, now that it's opened nationwide. Granted, it's not as big a release as like some of the other movies, like Downsizing, which just also came out, as well as I believe there was another movie I can't remember, but besides Star Wars, of course, Star Wars is in the most theaters right now, and probably for the next couple weeks. But The Shape of Water, excuse me, still getting over this cough. It was So first off, I do love Guillermo del Toro, and I think this movie is great. Definitely go see it if you're interested in any of his work, or even just like a romantic kind of like, it's almost like a Beauty and the Beast, but more, I don't know, more grounded, but more, I don't know, like just more romantic overall, I guess you could say. That would probably be the best way I could put it. It is an R-rated movie, so there is cursing, there is gore, well, blood, not so much gore, not well, not too much. And then of course there is one thing that threw me off a little at the start. There is nudity in this movie, so be prepared for that, because it caught me off guard a little at first, and I was like, oh yeah, I mean, Guillermo del Toro has done R-rated stuff, and I believe he's done nudity before, if I can remember correctly. But yeah, so it catches you off guard, because I mean, when was the last time a movie that isn't about sex, or anything that has nudity? It's tasteful nudity for sure, and it just works, with the story, because it shows vulnerability and just being completely open. So it's perfect. I mean, it works with the movie. It's not just thrown in there just to have it. It definitely is deserved, compared to like a lot of other movies where it's just thrown in there just because they can. But nonetheless, it is R-rated movie, so do not take kids to go see it, as much as you think it might be, something a little cutesy because of the, amphibious creature. But yeah, it's surprising that I didn't recognize the female actress, just because she had been in a couple movies I had seen before and I actually liked, and it just caught me off guard seeing her. And man, she does an incredible job. She plays a mute um, woman that was also abandoned as a baby, that she was found by a river, and it's kind of like, wow, that's a tough upbringing. And she helps out her next door neighbor, who's like a struggling artist, and just her friends at work, and just she works in this old like research facility that's reminds me a lot of the Hellboy. I think it was like a dam or something kind of facility that their division was housed in, because it looks like it and it feels like it. And I love that setting. I love Del Toro's, you know, detail in the background. The background is its own story, just like the characters that are in it, and all the characters have great story. There's about 5 main characters you follow. Uh, excuse me. Uh, and they all get their time to shine. They all get their moments. They all get their scenes. They all get just great stuff to work with, and none of it felt, all the writing felt good, right? It didn't feel corny. It didn't feel cheesy. It didn't feel like, we've seen this a million times. Which, granted, the basic story of it we have. I mean, it's almost like every movie we've seen. The basic story of most movies. It's just the way it's tweaked and the way it's worked. It just works so much better here, compared to a lot of other movies, even movies that came out this year that are, a little similar. But so far this year, I don't think there's anything that's quite like The Shape of Water. As far as the actors, like I said, they all do great work. It's pretty impressive to see these actors and know them from other stuff, but then just get lost in their character. And you're not just looking at the actor being this character, you're seeing this character, which is great. I gotta give everyone a hand because they did a great job. There's definitely probably going to be a couple of nominations, I'm sure, from this cast. The main actor, man, she just does an amazing job. Like I said, she's playing a mute in the 1960s, and man, it must be so hard to act without words, but she does it. And the sign language, yeah, it does help, but it almost like it's still it's so uh like I said, this movie is something that we haven't had this year, and it's such a nice, refreshing, take on a lot of different things. It's just the way, like, it's, oh man, it's just one of those movies that make you feel, that give you a little, that make you think, and I love those movies. And even after watching this movie, it made me like just think about the story and the meaning behind everything. And man, it just, I don't know how Del Toro does it, but man, he just does something that makes you think. And I think that's what a lot of directors try, and he pulls it off almost every single time. So that's what I loved about it. And music wise, music was great. I was actually surprised because from the trailers, it seems like the end story is breaking them out, and actually, it's not. Uh, that's kind of like, that kind of gets out of the way about halfway in, and that's pretty interesting because you don't expect it. You think, okay, getting him out is the end story. That's it, and everything else is just gonna build up to it. But it's not. It's like a heist movie almost. Will call. They're breaking him out, and then it's love story, and it's just, it's a lot of different things, and it just works out. And the setting just is perfect. The 60s with the characters, it just works all perfectly in sync, and everything just works out to help them out. Granted, there are a couple setbacks, and there's there's like two gruesome scenes that are like but yeah, man, the audience I saw with, everybody was drawn into it. Everyone was hooked. Everyone was, there was a couple people that got a little shocked even early on in the movie with one of the scenes, and it was it was nice to see. It's always nice to see when the audience is just as involved in the movie as you are, or as I was, and seeing that connection that you guys all have. Like I've said it before in the last one, seeing it in a big audience, which granted this audience was one of the smaller theaters, so it's only like a 40 capacity, so it's tiny. So I think it's one of the smallest ones they have. But pretty much, it was about 35 people in there, so it was packed pretty much for the venue, and it was worth it overall. To I said, I just like Guillermo del Toro. When I went to college, I did film studies, and I actually got him to do some one of my projects on. And after doing that, I just been hooked on everything that he makes. So I'm always gonna see whatever he makes somehow, some way, and love it. So far, I haven't found one movie from him that I did not like. So that's what I think about The Shape of Water. It's a great story. It's done really well. Doug Jones again is one of the monster creature guys to go to that Guillermo del Toro always picks, and he does a great job, because you kind of want to reference him to Ape Sapien from Hellboy, but he is not. He is completely different, and it just works. It's just the way he moves. Like, he really takes in. I know Andy Serkis is really, a lot of people think of for being like a person that's in like the mocap or a costume or something, like being in that creature. But really, Doug Jones is one of the, if not, Doug Jones might be a little bit better than Serkis, just as far as his movements. and it just it just works out so great. Oops, and my screen, I gotta change that screen. Went out, but yeah. So overall, check it out. Definitely give it a high rating. Try not to rate these. Don't want to spoil it too much because there are some really cool scenes. Granted, you do see, you know what the end game is, and you kind of figure out what's gonna happen. But the way they get there is really entertaining, and it's just there's some good surprises in this movie, and I think everyone that goes to go see it that is slightly interested at all will come out enjoying it just as much as me, if not more. Hopefully more. But that's it for this time. I may go see another movie. I am interested in seeing Downsizing, but most likely, probably not if I don't get time to go see it. Because, of course, Christmas is Monday and Christmas Eve is Sunday, which I do have Christmas Eve off, so I will be busy, with the family stuff, Christmas Eve at least. Uh, but yeah, go ahead and leave a comment. Tell me what you guys think, because I am always interested in talking about, every single movie I watch. And if you guys have questions about this movie, of course, I will try to help you out because I am just that kind of guy. I'm such a problem solver. I always want to, try to help people out. So, until next time, guys. Later.